Good afternoon. Thank you very much for inviting us here. This is very exciting and a great opportunity for all of us. My name is Mor, and these are my colleagues Fadi and Yonatan. We're from the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, and we're here to tell you about ReMedic. So this is my colleague's Fadi medication cabinet. Fadi is a relatively healthy, normal guy, no special health issues. He did have a terrible back pain a few weeks ago, so he got some anti-inflammatory drugs to help him ease on the pain. And a few months ago, he also caught a cold. Turned out to be bacterial infection, so he got some antibiotics. Last year, he had a flu, not much to do, but he got some pills just to take care of the symptoms. And this is just a bit of everything that you see here in this cabinet. So let me ask you, how much do you think out of all of this Fadi actually needs now or will need in the near future? The answer is that not a lot. And Fadi is not alone. This is Yonatan's cabinet. And this is mine. And I guess it looks familiar by the jiggling in the audience. And it's not surprising because about 90% of the people in the Western world keep excess medications in their households. And when I say excess medication, I mean medication that are not being used anymore. Some of them can be expired or non-expired. And what will probably happen is in the next cleanup of the medical cabinet, they will just end up in the trash. And this is what happens to 75% of the excess medications. They just end up in the trash, just like regular garbage. You may ask, is this a problem? Well, yes, it is a huge problem. And let me tell you why. When we throw medications into the garbage, unfortunately, just like some of the regular garbage, they end up in the sea and in the water sources. There, because they contain a lot of active ingredients, they cause irreversible damage to aquatic life and the aquatic ecosystem. And this is not just a matter of ecology or environment, this is also directly compromising food security because it causes entire populations of fish to collapse. And if that's not bad enough, when medications end up in the water sources, many antibiotics, they accelerate the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. This is a severe global health threat and one of the most severe ones according to the World Health Organization. This is because antibiotic-resistant bacteria turn simple infections, such as a sore throat or a urinary tract infection, into a life-threatening disease. And these medications that we throw away, they come back to us like a boomerang in our drinking water at home. Studies conducted in the US and in Europe found over 600 different types of pharmaceutical leftovers in drinking water above the detection limit. For some of them, we already know the implications and they are very severe. There are alterations in hormonal cycles, alterations in mood, development of allergies, and development of resistance to antibiotic therapy. And this is just what we know today because intensive research is being conducted these days to understand the implication of these pharmaceutical leftovers. So let's go back to these 75% I just told you about that we throw to the trash and cause all these problems. You know what's the crazy thing about these 75%? That about 60% of them are good, valid medications that can be used to treat illnesses. And you know what's even more crazy? That while all this is happening in the developed Western world, about a third of the world's population have no access to the most basic medications. This is over 2 billion people, mainly in low-income countries. And when I say they don't have access, I mean medications are either too expensive for them, there is a shortage of supply, and what's already available, a lot of it is fake or substandard. Therefore, it's causing more harm than doing good. When we think of the biggest killers, biggest health challenges in low-income countries, alongside with difficult-to-treat diseases such as HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis, if we look at the top of the list, the three biggest killers are diseases that are actually treatable. This is the case with lower respiratory infections, with pneumonia, with diarrhea, and ischemic heart diseases, which in the developed world usually are just an inconvenience. But in low-income countries, these diseases cost lives, and a lot of them. So for example, let's look at pneumonia, lower respiratory infection. Pneumonia is the #1 killer of children in the low-income countries. and it kills about 1 million children every year. And all this while it can be simply treatable with just common, cheap, prevalent antibiotics such as amoxicillin that I bet some of you have some of it in your medical cabinets. And if we take a more global, a more broad look at this, we see that disease burden arrests development. Unhealthy nations and unhealthy societies have difficulty in constructing their own access to medical services. Therefore, they are trapped in a vicious cycle that does not allow resolution and arrests their own development. So, to conclude what we see here, the situation is of imbalance that hurts both sides. In the Western developed world, excess of medication causes severe implications on the environment and on people's health. And in low-income countries, the lack of access to basic medication costs lives. This is why we created ReMedic. In ReMedic, we want to offer a holistic, global solution to tackle both these problems at once. In ReMedic, we want to help return balance by turning excess into access. And let me tell you how we do that. So, the basics of ReMedic are two. First, we need access medications to be returned to collection points like pharmacies. And second, we need to sort them into reusable and non-reusable medications. Now, some of you say probably that in many developed countries there is already a system in place for collecting excess medications and disposing them in a way that doesn't hurt the environment. And this is true. But let's go back to this 75%. So 75% do not go through this path. And why? So we also asked this question, and our analysis came up with two main conclusions. One is lack of awareness. People are not aware of the damage that throwing medications into the garbage causes. And some of them are not even aware there is a system in place for dealing with it. The second is motivation. People do not have any motivation for returning their excess medications. It's just easier to throw them away to the garbage. This is why ReMedic is based on a deposit refund system, deposit reward system, also known in the world as DRS. DRS, deposit refund systems, are applied to many fields today in the developed world. One case, very famous one, is that of empty beverage containers. But it was never applied to the field of pharmaceuticals. So let me show you how we plan to apply it to the field of pharmaceuticals. So whenever a customer buys a medicine, he leaves a small deposit at the pharmacy and gets his medication. When he's done with it and he has his leftovers, he returns them to the pharmacy and gets his deposit back. However, in ReMedic, the deposit is not returned in the shape of money. It is returned in the shape of health-supporting supplements, health-supporting rewards. And the reason for this is there are two main reasons. So the first, we wanted to take money out of the equation to prevent unwanted phenomena, such as the development of black market or people not finishing their course of treatment to get money. The second is because we wanted to give something of value, something that will boost health even in developed countries with a relatively good healthcare system. Even in developed countries, there are socio-economy groups that do not have access to advanced medical care, and this is what we want to do here. So now the medications are exactly where we wanted them to be. From there, they are transferred based on mostly existing infrastructure to a sorting center. There they are sorted into non-reusable medications that will go to proper disposal that doesn't hurt the environment, usually it's through incineration, and reusable ones. Reusable medications will be selected based on predefined criteria that we will expand on later, but include mostly validity, original packaging, tamper evidence, and quality sticker that we will talk about later. There are two main other key players in the ReMedic model. The first is the government. The government, we believe, have a lot to benefit from applying a model like ReMedic because it saves dealing with all the damages that unused medications cause when they are disposed. And we want the government in the game to enforce the model, to regulate it, and to prevent its abuse. In addition, the government is the main operator of the infrastructure. The second key player are the pharma companies. Although ReMedic model hurts the pharma companies. We do not think this is the case. And the reason is that when you look at companies today, and at pharma companies also, you see that these companies invest a lot of time, effort, and money in what's called corporate social responsibility, or CSR. This is the responsibility of the corporate towards the society. And in this case, we believe that participating in the ReMedic model, reducing the damages caused by disposal of drugs in a non-appropriate way, can help boost their reputation, their corporate social responsibility, without investing extra money. And one more reason that we want them in the game is because they can help us ensure that the medicines have been stored properly in people's homes. This is why by applying a quality sticker on the packaging. This is a temperature, humidity sensitive sticker that will allow us to make sure the medicine has been stored properly. So let's go over all the model one more time. So every medicine that leaves the pharmaceutical factory leaves with a quality sticker. From there, it is transported to the pharmacy and sold to a customer who leaves a small deposit in return. When the customer returns his excess medications to the pharmacy, he gets the deposit back in the shape of health-supporting rewards. The medicine is then transferred into a sorting facility. If it is non-reusable, it will go to disposal, usually through incineration, in a way that doesn't hurt the environment. If it is reusable, it will be transferred to third-party international aid organizations and NGOs that will distribute it in areas and populations that need it. All of this is regulated and controlled by the government. In this model, everybody wins. The pharma companies benefit to their CSR activity, publicity, reputation, and the sticker is also a sales-driving engine because it will let customers know when it's time to replace their existing medications. The pharmacies, they earn better traffic of customers, and the customers benefit better health thanks to the health-supporting rewards distributed to them. Areas in need and low-income countries benefit better access to basic medications, and governments benefit better environment, health, and life quality for their citizens. Also, they benefit money, because treating all of these problems that throwing medications into the garbage will cost a lot of money in the future, and this is what we aim to save here. We're more than ready to take ReMedic to the next level. We are aware that although it might seem like a complex model, it is actually not so complicated. We're well aware of the areas that we still need to treat and pay attention to, such as policy making, economic models, and global standardization, because we believe that ReMedic will be at its best if it goes global, and if many countries participate in it together. To conclude, in ReMedic, we want to turn excess into access, and therefore gain better environment, better health, better life quality, and better access. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present here. Thank the Geneva Graduate Institute, the Weizmann Institute of Science, and all these dear people, one of them sitting in the audience, for the amazing work and for everything you saw today. Thank you.